Relationships have always been complicated. Navigating the waters of love, trust, and commitment is a delicate dance. But in today's world, it seems like the dance floor has become a lot more crowded, and the steps are getting a lot more difficult to follow. We're seeing a shift in the very fabric of relationships, with traditional expectations challenged and redefined. And while progress and changing norms are generally positive, this particular shift has brought some concerning trends to light. We're talking about the alarming rise of female infidelity and its ripple effects on individuals, relationships, and society as a whole. This isn't about pointing fingers or placing blame, but about confronting uncomfortable truths and understanding their implications. Recent studies and statistics paint a stark picture. Numbers don't lie, and the numbers coming out about infidelity, particularly female infidelity, are impossible to ignore. We're seeing reports of skyrocketing rates of infidelity among women, reaching levels previously unheard of. This isn't just a slight uptick, it's a seismic shift in relationship dynamics, and the consequences extend far beyond the immediate heartbreak of betrayal. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has reported a startling statistic. Women are now more likely than men to carry sexually transmitted infections. This revelation adds another layer of concern to an already complex issue, highlighting the potential health risks associated with this changing landscape of relationships. The very notion of infidelity often conjures up images of men behaving badly. For decades, societal narratives have often placed men as the primary culprits when it came to straying from relationships. But the data tells a different story, a story that challenges these long-held assumptions. Studies are now showing a significant rise in infidelity among women, debunking the myth of the unfaithful male. This isn't about demonizing women, it's about acknowledging a societal shift that demands our attention. This shift in infidelity rates is not just a minor blip on the radar. It represents a fundamental change in relationship dynamics, one that has implications for both men and women. Infidelity, at its core, is a betrayal of trust. It shatters the foundation of a relationship, leaving behind emotional wreckage that can be difficult to repair. And when it comes to female infidelity, the betrayal can cut even deeper, challenging traditional gender roles and expectations. The emotional fallout can be devastating for both partners, leading to feelings of hurt, anger, and resentment. But beyond the immediate pain, the rise in female infidelity raises important questions about the changing nature of relationships themselves. Are women less satisfied in their relationships? Are they seeking fulfillment outside of traditional partnerships? Section 3. Shifting societal norms. The rise in female infidelity can be seen as a reflection of broader societal shifts. Women are more empowered than ever before, both economically and socially. They have greater independence, more opportunities, and are less likely to stay in relationships that no longer serve them. This newfound freedom, while positive in many ways, can also lead to a greater willingness to explore options outside of a committed relationship. Furthermore, the normalization of casual sex and the rise of dating apps have created an environment where it's easier than ever to connect with potential partners outside of a relationship. Section 4. The Tinder Effect. The advent of dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge has undeniably transformed the dating landscape. These apps provide easy access to a vast pool of potential partners, making it simpler than ever to connect with someone new. While these apps can be a great tool for finding love and companionship, they have also been linked to an increase in infidelity. The anonymity and accessibility of these platforms can make it easier for individuals to engage in extramarital affairs without detection. This ease of connection, coupled with the thrill of the unknown, can be a potent temptation for individuals in committed relationships, leading them down a path of infidelity that can have devastating consequences. Section 1. A silent epidemic. The CDC's findings on the rise of STDs among women are more than just statistics. They represent a silent epidemic, a ticking time bomb, with potentially devastating consequences. For years, STDs were often seen as a men's issue, something that women were less likely to contract or worry about. However, this perception is dangerously outdated. The CDC's data clearly shows that women are now bearing the brunt of this public health crisis. This alarming trend is a wake-up call for everyone, urging us to confront the realities of this silent epidemic head-on. We can no longer afford to ignore the fact that STDs are on the rise, particularly among women, and that this trend has far-reaching implications for individuals and society as a whole. The reasons behind the rise of STDs in women are multifaceted and complex. One contributing factor is the increase in risky sexual behavior. With the rise of hookup culture and casual sex, individuals may be engaging in unprotected sex with multiple partners, increasing their chances of contracting an STD. The ease of finding new partners through dating apps may also contribute to this trend, making it simpler for individuals to engage in risky sexual encounters without fully considering the potential consequences. This increase in risky sexual behavior comes at a price, and unfortunately, it's women who are disproportionately paying that price. STDs can have a devastating impact on a woman's physical health, leading to chronic pain, infertility, and even life-threatening complications. The consequences of STDs extend far beyond the physical realm. The emotional and psychological toll can be equally devastating. A diagnosis of an STD can lead to feelings of shame, guilt, and fear. The stigma surrounding STDs can make it difficult for individuals to seek treatment or to discuss their diagnosis with partners, further perpetuating the cycle of silence and shame. This stigma can also lead to strained relationships, social isolation, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The rise of STDs among women is a wake-up call for a society that often prioritizes pleasure over protection. It highlights the importance of open and honest communication about sexual health, the necessity of comprehensive sex education, and the need for greater access to affordable healthcare. We need to move beyond the shame and stigma associated with STDs and create a culture where individuals feel empowered to protect themselves and their partners. This means having open and honest conversations about sexual health with our partners, our children, and within our communities. It means advocating for comprehensive sex education that provides young people with the knowledge and tools they need to make responsible choices. The dating world has always had its share of games and strategies, but the concept of a backup plan takes romantic maneuvering to a whole new level. Imagine this: you're in a committed relationship, seemingly happy and content. But unbeknownst to your partner, you have a list of potential replacements waiting in the wings. This isn't the plot of a cynical romantic comedy, it's the reality for a staggering 70% of women, according to recent studies. These women, whether married or dating, admit to having backup plans, other romantic interests they keep on the back burner, ready to turn up the heat should their current relationship fizzle. This revelation might seem shocking, even disheartening, to some. It raises questions about the very foundations of trust and commitment in modern relationships. The prevalence of backup plans in relationships speaks volumes about the state of modern love. Have we become so afraid of being alone, of vulnerability, that we're constantly hedging our bets in the game of love? The rise of dating apps, with their endless streams of potential partners, might be contributing to this always-on-the-lookout mentality. Why commit fully when there might be someone better just a swipe away? This constant comparison, this fear of missing out, can erode the very essence of a true and meaningful connection. Trust, the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, is built on a foundation of honesty, vulnerability, and emotional safety. When one partner harbors secret backup plans, it creates a breach of trust that can be incredibly difficult to repair. The knowledge that your partner has one foot out the door can lead to feelings of insecurity, jealousy, and resentment, poisoning the well of the relationship. This erosion of trust can have devastating consequences, leading to communication breakdowns, emotional distance, and ultimately, the demise of the relationship. Section 4. A generation on standby. The backup plan phenomenon isn't just about infidelity. It's about a generation seemingly hesitant to fully commit, to embrace the joys and challenges of a deep and meaningful connection. It reflects a fear of vulnerability, a reluctance to invest fully in a relationship that might not work out in the end. But in the process of safeguarding ourselves from potential heartbreak, are we missing out on the very essence of love, its capacity to challenge us, change us, and make us feel truly alive? The rise of backup plans is a symptom of a larger societal trend, a growing disconnect from genuine intimacy and a fear of the unknown territories of love. Section 1. The Crumbling Foundation. The traditional family unit, once considered the bedrock of society, is facing unprecedented challenges in today's rapidly evolving world. The rise of female infidelity, coupled with the increase in STDs and the prevalence of backup plans, is contributing to a slow but steady erosion of this fundamental social structure. When trust is broken within a family, the consequences can be far-reaching, impacting not just the individuals involved, but also the community as a whole. This erosion of family values can lead to social instability, economic hardship, and increased crime rates. It's a complex issue with no easy solutions, but acknowledging the problem is the first step towards addressing it. Section 2. Children caught in the crossfire. Perhaps the most heartbreaking consequence of hyperpromiscuity and infidelity is the impact on children. Children are incredibly perceptive and often bear the brunt of the emotional fallout from broken families. Witnessing infidelity, experiencing the pain of parental separation, or grappling with the complexities of blended families can leave lasting emotional scars on young minds. These early childhood experiences can have long-term consequences, potentially leading to trust issues, relationship problems, and difficulty forming healthy attachments later in life. The societal implications of hyperpromiscuous behavior extend far beyond the immediate family unit. When trust is eroded within relationships, it can create a ripple effect that impacts communities as a whole. Social cohesion weakens, cynicism flourishes, and individuals become more guarded, less willing to invest in meaningful connections with others. This breakdown of trust can permeate various aspects of society, from personal relationships to business dealings to political discourse. Addressing the societal implications of hyperpromiscuity and infidelity requires a multifaceted approach. It's not about pointing fingers or placing blame, but about fostering open and honest conversations about relationships, commitment, and the importance of personal responsibility. We need to create a culture that values and prioritizes healthy relationships, both for the sake of individuals and for the well-being of society as a whole. This includes promoting comprehensive sex education that goes beyond the mechanics of sex to address emotional intelligence, communication skills, and the importance of respect in relationships. It also means creating a supportive environment where individuals feel comfortable seeking help and guidance when faced with relationship challenges. We stand at a crossroads in the evolution of relationships. The traditional paradigms of love, fidelity, and family are being challenged as never before. The rise of female infidelity, with its accompanying consequences, is a stark reminder that we can no longer afford to ignore the shifting sands beneath our feet. This isn't about passing judgment or clinging to outdated ideals. It's about acknowledging uncomfortable truths and engaging in honest conversations about the future we want to create. Ignoring these trends won't make them disappear. Burying our heads in the sand will only exacerbate the problems, leading to further heartbreak, societal fragmentation, and a deepening sense of disillusionment. We must choose a path. We can either continue down a road of fleeting connections, guarded hearts, and the erosion of trust, or we can choose a different path, one that leads to stronger relationships, healthier communities, and a more fulfilling human experience. The path toward healthier relationships begins with open and honest communication. We must create safe spaces for individuals, couples, and families to discuss their challenges, fears, and aspirations without shame or judgment. Comprehensive sex education, rooted in respect, responsibility, and emotional intelligence, is paramount. We must equip young people with the tools to navigate the complexities of modern relationships, to understand the importance of communication, consent, and the potential consequences of their choices. Furthermore, we need to destigmatize seeking help for relationship challenges. Just as we wouldn't hesitate to seek professional help for a physical ailment, we should feel equally comfortable seeking guidance from therapists, counselors, and relationship experts when faced with emotional or relational difficulties. Building a future where trust, commitment, and genuine connection thrive requires a collective effort. It's about making conscious choices, engaging in difficult conversations, and prioritizing the health of our relationships, not just for our own well-being, but for the well-being of generations to come.